Carly Goshen will send it over, and the Mustangs will keep it alive. Now the attack from the far side, and it's down for the kill. Olivia Dorins. Chloe Hertz. Hertz pushes it in back there to Schmidt. Shot from the point. It's in! Off the stick of Taylor Leonards, excuse me, and it's 3-0. Taylor Leonards with the third goal for the Bismarck Blizzard on the shot from the point on the far side. And the Blizzard are running on all cylinders here in period number 41-37, 4:25 to go here as the Kindred Vikings will work it down low. Another slam dunk and one. How about that? A slam dunk by Gavin Keller, and he got fouled on the two-handed throwdown. Kennedy Kuntz will pop that one up left center field. It's going back, and we have our first grand slam of the All-Star Series in 3 years. Hansen under center, drops back, looks near side. I believe that's Wilmo, and he's got it. Fargo South touchdown.
Kaylee Jackson, three-pointer up, and no, that one won't go in. Tana Litt pulls down the deep offensive board. She'll put up a three. That one's in, we're tied.
Groffman won't be able to control it. The ball will escape over to the far sideline. Fargo Davies have come up that far sideline, and a nice through ball there, and this could be an opportunity. Centering pass, one-on-one. Was she offside? She was not. It's 1-0 Fargo Davies. Bad pitch here, and the bases are loaded. Line drive right into center field, and that will score 1 run. And rounding third is Horwich, and he will score. It's a 2-run RBI double for Casey Reber. Shot from the point, Bree Adams, lowering hard, and it's in! Off the stick of Sydney Kamstrup, and the Cougars are on the board! Press box here, the best we're able to. That one's going high left field, and running for it is Schwab, and she makes a diving catch! Wow, what a play by Cameron Schwab, the junior in left field, to end the inning.
Fantastic catch.
All right, welcome. Mike Mason with you here on the ND Sports Channel. We're at Fargo Davies High School for a huge EDC soccer matchup between the Bruins and the Davies Eagles. We're at 62 degrees under a sunny sky right now. We do have about a 50% chance of rain over the next hour or two. I'm going to say next hour, and then it significantly drops below that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast here. We're going to be, like I said, we're at 62 degrees right now. 64 degrees will be our expected high over the next hour, and then we'll start to fall once again with sunset at 7:49, 61 degrees, partly cloudy at 8. By the time we end this game, we should be in the upper 50s, lower 60s right in that general area. So as you can see, that chance of rain drops over the course of the end of this hour here. And taking a look at our on the map stats there. This is something we had in the past, but we brought it back with a little bit of an updated graphic here. We have this is game 507, so over 506 games. We've broadcasted those games in a total of 29 different cities or towns. And in those games, we have covered a total of 84 different teams. And we are 18 viewers shy of 100,000 viewers. I'm guessing we'll get those 18 viewers during this game here. Like I said, this is a pretty big matchup. And then we've had about just shy of 75,000 visits to the website. Last time we checked, we're at 728 YouTube subscribers. If we can get up to 730 by this game, that'd be sweet. Twitter followers, 12. That one went up to 1278. I just looked at Twitter a little bit ago. So we're up to 1278. And then 381 on the Facebook likes and follows. And my favorite stat is the total number of games that we forced you to pay to watch. 0. We have every intention in the world to keep it that way for the remainder of time. So, but we do appreciate your donations. We'd love it if you were to follow us on Facebook and or Twitter. Facebook or check that Twitter at Indy Sports CH1. Of course, you can text us any scores from some other games happening today at 701-373-1843. With that said, coming up next, we'll take a timeout, look at the team profiles, and much more. Starting lineups ahead as well on the ND Sports Channel pregame show here on the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
All right, welcome back. Once again, they're playing the School of Songs here at Fargo Davies. Starting lineups are just around the corner here. Let's take a look at the two teams. The Fargo South Bruins, they have won every game they're supposed to win, and they have won every game that they were supposed to lose. Fargo South is coming in very confident into this matchup here, and they are a win away from being alone in first place in the EDC. They have knocked off Grand Forks Central. Matter of fact, when they did do that, it was the Knights' first loss of the year. They were 6-0 going into that, and now they're 6-3 tonight going into their matchup with West Fargo. And then they knocked off the defending state champions, West Fargo Packers, this past Saturday, 3-2, bringing them into tonight. So they've taken care of two of the best teams in the state, and now they got another great team in the state, in the Fargo Davies Eagles. And like I said, they're a win away from first place coming into this matchup at 6-2-0, scoring 21, only allowing 8. For the Fargo Davies Eagles, they are 6-1-2, 5-0-2 on the year. We're going to turn down our crowd mic here so we don't get that copyright strike with the national anthem there. We will keep it here during that national anthem. Once again, Fargo Davies 6-1-2 overall. They are 5-0-2 in the conference. They've outscored their opponents 23-10. They come into tonight's win over a good 4-3 rainy day Saturday win over the Grand Forks Central Knights. So at that time, the Knights were number 2. But now the Knights have fallen all the way to number 4 thanks to that loss to Fargo Davies and a Mustang win and a Bruin win over the West Fargo Packers. So as you can see there, the Bruins and the Mustangs move up 1 in the standings, while the Knights fall 2 in the standings. They are 4-3-0 with a home game against West Fargo tonight. That is a crucial game for both of those teams, but more so for West Fargo. If the Packers lose that game, their chances of returning to the state tournament are not very high. It's not going to be impossible, but it's not very high. And then the Sheyenne Mustangs have a home game against Red River tonight. It would be suspected that the Mustangs would win that game and improve to 5-1-2. And if that happens, the Mustangs will have 17 points. As you can see right now, Fargo Davies coming into this matchup with 17 points as well. And then Fargo South with 15 points. So if Sheyenne wins and Fargo South loses this game today, Sheyenne will bump up to number 2. If Fargo South defeats Fargo Davies, then Fargo Davies would still be at second place because they have that 3-2 win back on August 29th over West Fargo Sheyenne in that head-to-head. So in that scenario, the head-to-head win would be the tiebreaker, and at least until those two teams met up later in the season, because they do have one more matchup in the regular season. So once again, a huge game for Fargo South tonight, even a huge game for Fargo Davies too, but maybe a little bit huger or more huge, whichever one of those is the correct terminology to use, for the Fargo South Bruins, as they've been cruising up those standings, and now they are a win away from taking that number 1 spot. But if they lose today, they'll be number 3, assuming that Sheyenne wins over Grand Forks Red River tonight. Other games happening in the EDC. Shanley's at Fargo North. West Fargo's at Grand Forks Central. And Red River is at Sheyenne, as we mentioned. Over in the WDA, Bismarck's at Mandan. Jamestown's at Century. And Minot is at Williston. Coming up next, we'll have your starting lineups and all the final pregame thoughts as we wrap this thing up.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Download Game Time today.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
North Dakota Softball All-Stars podcast with Tim Howe keeps you up to date year-round on the sport of softball in the state of North Dakota. Coach and player interviews, who's moving on to play college softball, and that, well, guess what? That simply scratches the surface of this Grand Slam. All right, let's go ahead and come out of that timeout here as we're getting ready to kick things off here. Your starters for Fargo Davies in goal. Jensen Waltz, the junior, in goal for the Fargo South Bruins is Krishana Puar, a sophomore goalkeeper. And then on the field there for the Eagles, Jonas Adams, Jack Anderson, Eric Baiminiana, Patrick Lawrence, Caleb Glover, Gavin Griggs, Yannick Vetter, Skylar Smaby, Muhammad Ali, and Ryder Schmidt. On the field for Fargo South, Bishal Monger, Pacifique Sibomana, Sagar Gurung, Taylor Lawongo, Alvin Johnson, Nobin Gurung, Nairesh Mangar, Shujan Gale, and Ethan Jablon, as well as Austin Scott. Check that Ethan Jablon is not starting. I made a mistake there on my pen marks on my roster there. So those are your starters here for the Fargo South Bruins and the Fargo Davies Eagles as we get ready to roll here in the first half of play. And it looks like the Fargo Davies Eagles will be moving from right to left here. And as soon as AC/DC gets done playing in the background, we'll turn up that crowd mic there. But once again, Fargo Davies in their home reds with the yellowish gold sleeves and white numbers on the back, while Fargo Davies in the white jerseys with a yellowish gold number on the back. And things will start off here as Jonas Adams flips it up onto the foot there of Austin Scott. Scott brings it back, throws it over far side. Now the ball is advanced up the field, and it'll be bounced out of bounds as we need to start our clock. We were so on, and now we're so off. 39 minutes, and we'll start it at 39:30 here, which will be in about 2 seconds. All right, now the time is correct, and the throw-in from the far side. The binoculars, I believe, are sitting in the press box at Fargo South High School, so I do not have binoculars today. We'll do the best we can on those far side players. Jonas Adams advances it up. Near side here, that is Muhammad Ali, who had 3 goals in the game against Grand Forks Central on Saturday. He'll touch up on it. Patrick Lawrence in on the mix there for Fargo Davies, and Jonas Adams sees the ball stripped away from him and advanced upfield. On the near sideline here for Fargo South, that is going to be Alvin Johnson. Alvin Johnson with those yellow shoes puts the pass up right on top of the 18. Fargo Davies had a chance, and I guess they were in the press box of the, there's a shot on goal, and Waltz blocks it down. No, these are not mine, but I will use them. Thank you very much, PA announcer Mr. Waltz, for making that possible, as Waltz will make a save there on goal. So 38.5 to go here in the first half of play. Remember, this is a battle for number 1 in the EDC standings. Fargo Davies wins. They put a little bit of separation between them and number 2. If Fargo Davies wins, well, they're in first place, but not by much, only by a single point. Fargo Davies would fall to second if they were to lose this game, but they would stay at second even though they'd have the same amount of points as West Fargo Sheyenne due to that 3-2 head-to-head win with the Mustangs back on August 29th. So once again, the winner of this one is first place. And Fargo South, if you're just joining us and missed our pregame show here, matter of fact, we need to get a couple shots on net here for Fargo South. Let's get that taken care of really quick. Fargo South, they started the season 1-2 in their first 3 games, and they've rattled off wins since then. Like I said, they have defeated the teams that they were supposed to defeat, and they have defeated the teams that they were supposed to lose to. So Fargo South, not a soccer team you want to take for granted here. You don't want to be overconfident against the Bruins here, as they certainly have proven themselves over the last couple of weeks. So far, Fargo Davies is handling it here. They don't have a shot on goal yet. Fargo South does have 2. But Fargo Davies doing a nice job of keeping the ball kind of in midfield and trying to set up those opportunities on the offensive side of the ball. There's Muhammad Ali racing, and that's going to be a clean trip. Unfortunately, the ball will go out of bounds, and Ali won't be able to get up there. So that'll be a Fargo South throw-in for Pacifique Sibomana on the near sideline here for Fargo South. And Sibomana will get it in, and they will continue to advance the ball up. Jack Anderson will boot it back to Ryder Schmidt. Schmidt will send it over to the far side of the field. Closest eagle there was, I believe that was Jonas Adams on the far side. No, check that. That might have been by Miniana. Yes, it was by Miniana over on the far side, as Adams is more in the center. Patrick Lawrence now battling for the ball, and that's taken away here by Fargo South. Nice pass, and Waltz has to come out, and that was the only thing stopping that ball from going into the goal, because Fargo South player on the far end there had, I believe that's Yannick Vetter beat. So Waltz was their only hope on that one there. Gavin Griggs touched up on it here on the near sideline, out of bounds for a Bruins throw-in. Just under the 36-minute mark remaining of the first half. No score here between the Bruins and the Davies Eagles. We will try and bring you updates on scores between a couple of other games that are kind of significant today, and that includes Grand Forks Central up in hosting West Fargo up at Cushman Field up in Grand Forks. And then the other one that we'll want to keep an eye on there is Sheyenne and Grand Forks Red River. Both Fargo South and Fargo Davies would absolutely love it if Red River could pull an upset over Sheyenne, as that would put a little bit of separation between the Mustangs and then the Bruins/Eagles in the top of the standings there. 35-17 and counting to go here. Once again, this game will be available for a 24/7 replay on our website within about 30 to 60 minutes after the conclusion of our broadcast here. Upcoming games are found on our website as well, msportsnet.com. That one will go right into the hands of Jensen Waltz, and Waltz will slow things down temporarily here, allow his teammates to get out. Now he'll boot it away, and that ball will come up just shy of midfield onto the foot there, Muhammad Ali. Ali will push it up. I think Biaminiana was offsides, and he was. He was offsides by about 3 to 4 inches there, and the official on the far side put his flag up immediately. Biaminiana would have been just a little bit more patient. He may have had a breakaway there. But no, it'll be offsides and a free kick here for Fargo South. Free kick comes from just shy of 80 yards away from the goal. They'll boot it up near side here onto the foot of Pacifique Sibomana. And that'll be taken away there by Fargo Davies' Gavin Griggs. Griggs will advance it upfield. Ali will give chase, but Fargo South will collect the possession. Back to, it was intended for Alvin Johnson, or Siebelmana, excuse me, on the near side. And then I looked down for a split second, and I believe a free kick is coming up here for Fargo South. Unintentional foul there on Muhammad Ali. Just under 34 to go. Fargo South has shown a majority of the offense in this one so far. But on the flip side of that, Fargo Davies has shown some pretty good defense in this side of it, in this matchup so far as well. As Siebelmana now a couple of touches later, the ball is intercepted by Fargo Davies. By Miniano will feed it up, and racing for it there was Gavin Griggs along with Ali, but the Bruin defenders got there first. Bruins will bring it up the near side. Jonas Adams will touch up on it, get it up onto the foot there. Patrick Lawrence will get shoved down, and the official says play on. It happened right in front of the official, too. 33 minutes to go as that one's going to be booted out of bounds, and that will be a Fargo South throw-in. So just under 33 minutes to go. It's been an entertaining game so far. No score. We've had a couple entertaining games that ended in a 0-0 tie. I think the worst thing that could happen here for Fargo South is, well, obviously to end it in a loss, but the second worst thing would be to end in a tie with Fargo Davies. That'd be actually hurtful for both of these teams, as that would allow the Mustangs to, I believe, tie Fargo Davies. No, they would still be in second place because Fargo Davies with a tie would get 1 point in this matchup. So that'd push them up to 18, and with a Sheyenne win, that would be 17. And then they would, I think they would, I'm trying to think here, tie. Then Fargo South would bump to third on a tie in the standings. 32 minutes to go here in the first half of play. That will be a throw-in, I do believe. I think it was on the right side of the flag there, so it'll be a throw-in for the Eagles. I believe that's maybe on the far side with the toss. And it is maybe. Had to make the adjustment on the vision there, on the binoculars. Long ball that comes down and floats out of screen and out of bounds over the back line there for a goal kick there for Fargo Davies. So Waltz will set it up there on the top of the 6. Push it over to the far side of the top of the 6. Couple shots on goal here for Fargo South, but that's been about all so far in this game. So we cracked the 31-minute mark of the first half. Waltz taking some sweet time here, maybe shaving a few seconds off the clock, giving his teammates a chance to catch their breath, and now he'll boot it away. Up to midfield, immediately headed back. Almost the entire way that Waltz booted it by that header by Fargo South. On the far side was Nobin Gurung, the senior midfielder, and Gurung has it right now. He tried to feed it inside there. And now the ball's loose, trying to get around Smaby, and now maybe looking for a centering pass here. And it's chipped up, and it'll go just to the right of the goal. Great opportunity there for the Bruins, but they couldn't quite cash in on it. I believe that's going to be a goal kick here for Fargo Davies. I'll scoot over a little bit so that I can see out the side window frame of the press box here. Once again, I want to give a shout out to Lenny Olhauser. Let's try that again. Lenny Olhauser for allowing us to set up here and broadcast the game. Certainly appreciate that. Lenny, the activities director here at Fargo Davies High School. Long ball out of bounds here for a Fargo Davies throw-in. Just under 30 minutes to go here in the first half of play. And still no score. Bruins did get another shot on net. Yannick Vetter, a couple touches, got it out to Patrick Lawrence, and the Bruins would take it away. Falling down, I believe, was Alvin Johnson, and that allowed Fargo Davies to clear the ball. as they'll come out of bounds near side here, just below the scoreboard bug on your screen. It'll be Pacifique Sibomana tossing it in. Patrick Lawrence will touch up on it here, looking for an opportunity to pass it. Gets it over towards By Miniana. Miniana getting around a couple defenders, puts it onto the foot of Griggs. Now back to Lawrence. Lawrence didn't quite get the touch on it that he wanted, and now a free kick awarded here to Fargo Davies right about midfield. There we go. So they'll set this one up from 55, I believe about 55 yards away from the goal here. It'll be Jack Anderson who'll set up for the kick for Fargo Davies. 28-25 and counting to go here in the first half of play. And there's the kick, and it's going right towards the goal and chipped over far side. That's going to count as a shot for Fargo Davies. First one of the game, and it's saved there by Krishna Puwar, a sophomore goalie for Fargo South, and Puwar will boot that one away over to the far sideline where it's immediately touched up by Eric By Miniana. Loose ball picked up by the Eagles here at midfield onto the foot of Patrick Lawrence. Now the Bruins will take it away. Once again, another battle for the ball at midfield. Upfield, Gavin Griggs. Oh, I don't know about that. He was behind the defender, and even Gavin Griggs put his hands out there. I honestly have to humbly disagree. I don't think he was offsides on that one. But I'm not the official, folks, and I do respect the decisions, even if I don't agree with them. 27-27 to go here in the first half. I'd like to see the replay on that, I really would. Once again, not cheering for any team in particular here, just calling it as I see it. As Jonas Adams touches up on it, now Fargo South will take possession of the ball. And a two-hopper inside there into the hands of Waltz. Another shot for Fargo Davies. Waltz gave up 1 goal against Fargo North, gave up 3 goals against Grand Forks Central. Those are the only 4 goals he's given up all year. Well, let me restate that. Only 4 goals he's given up all year to an EDC opponent. Let's put it that way. I can't remember if he allowed any goals in that East-West crossover to start the season or not. Oh, yeah, he must have, because they lost, I think it was 3-1 to Century. So I'm guessing he was starting goal of that game, but I don't have that information in front of me at the moment. So Jonas Adams puts it in. That's Shushan Rai into the lineup. Didn't see him sneak in. And now Jonas Adams with some nice ball movement there to free it up. Looking for By Miniana on the side, but it'll curve in, and Puwar will pick it up and scoop it up and boot it away. Or at least I presume he'll boot it away here. Please boot it. All right. Thank you, Puwar. So I was not wrong. And that goes to the far sideline out of bounds. Immediately, the Fargo Davies Eagles will get a throw-in. Ball comes into Patrick Lawrence. It's touched up and booted away there by Fargo South. Loose ball, Vetter gets it onto the foot of Adams, and Adams will clear it up to Shushan Rai, but it's tipped away there by the Bruins. All the way back over the head of Ryder Schmidt. And now Waltz has to dive, and Schmidt goes flying up in the air. I believe that was Elvin Johnson who helped Schmidt up. Both Johnson and Schmidt had to jump over Waltz there on that play, and nice stretch of the foot there by Ali to keep the possession of the ball in for the Eagles here as he's trying to get around a few defenders, and well, you just can't do it every time. Like we said this a couple games ago. You give him 10 opportunities to burst through 3 or 4 defenders, he's going to get through them about 7 of those 10 times. That was 1 of the 3 times he did not. 24-45 and counting to go. By Miniana over on the far sideline. Ball is out of bounds. Bruin throw-in. 24-37 and counting to go. This has been a good one so far. Adams trying to advance it upfield, but it goes off the foot of that far side Bruin. Let's take a peek through the binoculars here. I believe that is Gentle Irakuzi. Oh, no, there's a 1 in front of that 4, so it was Sheyenne Gale.
In for your Davies Eagles, number 8, Max Pritchard.
Max Pritchard checking into the lineup here for the Eagles. 24 minutes to go in the first half. 4-1 shots on net in favor of the Bruins. The score is 0-0 here at Fargo Davies High School. Throw in from the far side, immediately touched up there by Griggs on the header. And now the Eagles will attempt to bring the ball up, but I believe it went out of bounds. And it'll be a throw in from a little bit further down. (23-25). Ooh, that one was a near opportunity there for Fargo South. Nice defensive play there by the Eagles. And that one will go out of bounds for a goal kick. Just rolled over the back line on the back side of the flag. And now we have another substitution here. This one for Fargo South. All right, so going out is Sheyenne Gale, and coming in is Zachary Mahudin, I believe is how you say it.
In for the Bruins, number 11, Zachary Mahudin.
22:35 and counting to go. It's getting a little bit hard to see those bright yellow numbers on the far side of the field. They're a little bit easier to see on the near side of the field. And unfortunately, all the substitutions happen on the far side of the field. (22-10) and counting. Nice move there by Alvin Johnson. He puts a shot on goal, and it just misses high to the left side of the post. 22 minutes and counting to go here in the first half. And that's 5 shots on net for Fargo South. The Eagles have only put 1 on net so far. The junior varsity game, Fargo South won 3-2. In case you need to note that down in your final scores notebook. So Jensen Waltz waiting for the whistle. Now he'll boot it away up towards the far sideline. Right there is Carlos Dixon. The only reason I knew that's who that was is because he had the green shoes on. Pritchard also comes back in. Shushan Rye and Carlos Dixon up front, the 2 closest Eagles to the ball. And I'll come back, and that is, I forget, Shushan, no, check that. There's Max Pritchard. The 8 is a little, that jersey's been through the wash machine a few too many times, and the 8 looks like a number 5. So free kick on the horizon here for Fargo South. Taking that free kick will be Taylor Labungo, a junior defenseman. At least that's how it appears to be at the moment. And it will indeed be Labungo. Gurung lined up just to Labungo's left, and he'll send it in. Bounces at the 18, cleared out by Fargo Davies. Recollected and resent in by the Bruins, but Jonas Adams is right there to bring it the other way. He tried to send it upfield. And now the ball bounced around, and the Bruins will pick up the possession here. Centering it in, and that's not exactly what they wanted, but it might work. Here's an opportunity, and a nice defensive play there by Jonas Adams to keep the ball out. Fargo South desperately trying to get it in there, and I think Fargo Davies wanted a handball call, but they're not going to get one. Now the ball will be booted up near sideline here, and maybe getting away with one there was Yannick Vetter, but regardless, he'll get it up to Shushan Ryan in the near sideline here. Now Pritchard in on check that, Patrick Lawrence up to Dixon. Ball out of bounds, and it will be a Bruin throw-in. It's immediately picked up there by Fargo Davies. As Jonas Adams has it right now. Tried to advance it up to Dixon, but it was taken away, and now Jonas Adams gets it right back. Trying to get around 2 defenders here. He kind of misstepped on the dribble of the ball there, and that booted it out of bounds for the Bruins throw-in. 19:20 and counting to go here, first half of play. Like a pinball bouncing back and forth right now, and Fargo South will collect that possession, at least for the moment. Onto the foot there, Taylor Labungo. And that one was nearly taken away. It's poked away just enough by Dixon so that Lawrence could pick it up. And now Shushan Rai is on a race after it, but the Bruins will get there first. Nice move there by Pacifique Sibomana to keep the ball in bounds. Now up onto the foot there, Riley Martin. Riley Martin back to Sibomana, back to Martin. Martin will advance it up. Elvin Johnson passed the ball, nearly got it back. Now he gets his foot on the ball again, trying to get around 2 Eagles defenders here. He'll drop it back. That'd be touched up on there by Sibomana, and a shot on goal there is saved by Jensen Waltz. 6 shots on net for the Bruins here in the first half of play. That's a nice boot there from Jensen all the way up to Dixon. And a little collision there, and a whistle, and a free kick for Fargo South. 17:47 and counting. Let's see here. We must have had a stop in the clock, and I was not aware of it. So we'll stop our clock for now. I'm not sure when that happened, but we'll get it fixed. So Jensen will boot that one away, and now 17:30 and counting to go is the official time in the first half. Once again, we do apologize for that. Whenever we catch it, we'll fix it. It's easy to fix. Clocks don't stop too frequently in soccer, so that's probably one of the reasons why we got off there. So Fargo South with the offensive advantage at the moment here in the first half. So the ball comes to the near sideline, out of bounds right at midfield. That'll be a Fargo South throw-in. They'll advance it up. That'll be a chance for Puar to pick it up. Well, he won't pick it up because, well, now he will because he had to dribble it back inside the 18. We're going to make an adjustment on our camera here. I'll have our camera person continue to follow the action. We'll be right back with the play-by-play here. All right, now hopefully you can see the players on the near sideline here with the exception of that scoreboard bug. We could move the scoreboard bug up, actually. Let's do that. Perfect timing with the whistle. Let's move it up here. Okay, that looks good to me. I think it looks good to you too. I guess we'll have to trust my instinct on that one.
In for the Bruins, number 8, Edmund Iraconde.
That's Iraconde here on the near sideline with the ball. He'll center it up high and over to the far side where the Bruins will maintain possession. And this one will come out of bounds for a throw-in. That'll be a free kick there for the Eagles as Alvin Johnson will get the whistle for a slight elbow, but an elbow nonetheless. And that'll be booted away up in the, that's Kanye Billups into the lineup here for Fargo Davies. And that ball just barely went out of bounds. Once again, the ball can be on the line, but it cannot be completely over the line. If it is completely over the line, it is out of bounds. That's Alvin Johnson trying to sneak through the defenders. Got tripped up, no call. Back the other way, Jonas Adams will touch up on it. Adams will patiently pass it. And they tried to get it up to Billups, but it was intercepted there by Fargo South. Billups coming up from behind. Just in the nick of time did Sibomana get that one centered. Otherwise, Billups may have had an opportunity to take it away. Speaking of taking it away, that's Jonas Adams over on the far side, and he'll boot it out of bounds here for a Fargo South throw-in. 13:54 and counting. We are about 14 days, exactly 2 weeks away from our first volleyball broadcast of the fall sports season. That'll feature the Fargo South Bruins and the Shanley Deacons, and that'll be live from Fargo South High School in the Bruins Den. So you can mark that one on your calendar. And then not tomorrow because it's Wednesday, but on Thursday, Fargo South fans, circle this on your calendar. We'll have our first ever swim meet, as the Bruins will host the Spartans in a girls swim meet at Fargo South High School. And we're going to see how that one goes. We have 2 of them on the schedule this year. If they go well, we might put more on. But this will be our tester, let's put it that way. So Fargo South fans, circle that one, share with your friends who might have some kids on the swim team. We'll be broadcasting that live here on the ND Sports Channel. Shot on, it hits the crossbar. Wow, what a blast. That one will go out of bounds. And I believe that's going to be a corner kick here for Fargo South. I believe it was Muhudin on the shot there. It was either Muhudin or Labungo, one of the two. But it was a blast, and 7-1 shots on net, corner kick opportunity here for the Bruins. And Waltz will punch that one, and it will go out of bounds for a throw-in. The way he smacked that with his hand there, I thought it was going to go up over the net and out of bounds for another corner kick, but I don't know if maybe it was just the distance of my vision or if it came off his hand wrong and came out to the side. But the good news for Fargo Davies is that it came out to the side. Much rather have a throw-in versus a corner kick for your opponent. Now Billups along the near sideline will try and work it up. And that's going to be Dixon. He has a one-on-one race. Can he get there? No. Dixon almost got tripped up on that, but he was able to pause for a moment and avoid the fall. That through ball will not have a chance to be collected by a Eagle, but Puar will boot it away. Out of bounds, midfield throw in here for Yannick Vetter and the Eagles. 3 substitutions now for Fargo Davies include Shushan Rai, Eric Baiminiana, and Jonas Adams.
In for your Eagles, number 1, Jonas Adams. Number 4, Eric Baiminiana. And number 6, Ushan Rai.
Saul Lee will try and center it in. It'll get popped back out in the direction of Ali, but the Bruins will send it out of bounds. That'll give us a chance to make another adjustment on our camera here. All right, so the throw-in will be Fargo South here. Now it'll be booted up. And Ryder Schmidt will head it back. He'll be collected there by Fargo South. Once again, a little bit hard to see those jersey numbers. Tried looking on screen, tried looking through the window. And really the only thing that helps is the binoculars, but you got to be quick because that ball will leave the player as soon as you identify him. There's Muhammad Ali. Drops it back to, I believe that's Adams. Near side now here for Lawrence. Lawrence back to Adams, middle of the field. Advancing it up. Ooh, by Miniana was on a break there, and it was headed away by Fargo South's Segar Gurung. Nice play there by the senior defenseman. Now let's see if the Eagles can create an opportunity. Here's Shushan Rai, and he cannot get it in. Puar comes out and stops it, and it's back. Baiminiana puts it up over the top. A golden opportunity that did not go in favor of Fargo Davies on that one there. And some nice goalkeeper work by Krishana Puar, the sophomore. It's only a second shot on net here for Fargo Davies in the game, and Fargo South getting lucky on that one. If Baiminiana would have been just a little bit more patient, he probably could have netted that one instead of putting it high up and over the top of the crossbar. So Fargo South ball will come to midfield there. Jonas Adams nearly poked it away, but the Bruins will keep possession of the ball. Bruins looking really good here today, with the exception of that fall down. And still he reaches out with his foot and keeps it. And if they score here, that'd be amazing. And they do not. It was on the outside of the net. It was on the outside of the net. Over on the far side there, that was Nobin Gurung who fell down, reached out with his, I believe it was his right foot, and put it right in front of his teammate for that shot on goal. Unbelievable work here by Fargo South. And Dixon is offside. So it'll be, I want to say, Labongo, that's the name I was looking for, who made that free kick. And now Dixon has it for the Eagles over on the far side. Drop it back all the way to midfield. They'll get it onto the foot of Jonas Adams. Adams sends it over near side here. That is Shushan Rai. A little miscommunication there. But the Eagles, for the moment, might have a chance to keep it. I believe that'll go out of bounds for a Eagles throw in. The official down here on the near side says yes. So does the field official. So Vetter will toss it in off the back of Shushan Rai. Sibomana will get it out of there for Fargo South. Trying to advance it upfield was Gurung, but he misfired on it. Now far side, not exactly sure who that is. Taking a peek through the binoculars here. Can't see it still. Another shot on goal. That one got deflected. Let's see how they rule it. I think they're going to rule it a corner kick here, as it might have been deflected off one of the Fargo Davies defenders. 5:57 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Had some great opportunities for both of these teams, but nobody able to cash in at this point in time. And here comes the corner kick. Far post, and it'll land and bounce out of bounds for a goal kick for Fargo Davies. 5.5 to go. Shots on net unofficially. 7-2 in favor of the Bruins. Just under 5.5 to go here in the first half. I have a feeling, and I said this during the Fargo South Moorhead game a couple weeks ago. I said I had a feeling that somebody's going to win this game 1-0. In that game, it happened to be Fargo South. I have the same feeling in this game here. The question is, will it be Fargo South again? So far, Jensen Waltz has been able to keep the ball out of the net. So Dixon will get pushed down, no call, and Or they will, no, it will be a throw-in. So no call on the push on Dixon there as the throw-in comes into Shushan Rye. Rye centering it. That's Lawrence. Lawrence will back it up to Jonas Adams. Adams lets the defender get by. Nice move there by Jonas. Shushan Rye with the ball now near side, trying to get around 2 Fargo South defenders, and those defenders will take it away, and the one with the ball is Pacific Sibomana. Pacific Sibomana looking for a pass, center of the field. He'll get it there. That is onto the foot of Nobin Gurung. Gurung fires it in, and Waltz will scoop it up as on the near side here, approaching for Fargo South. Was Edmund Irakunda. Pacific to Irakunda and out of bounds for a Davies throw-in. And a substitution here. Coming in for Fargo Davies is Gavin Griggs. Now puts Shushan Rye on the sidelines for a breather. 3.5 to go now here in the first half. Dixon will touch up on it. Bruins will collect it. Labungo pushed it back to Puar. And now the Davies looking to go on an attack here. Loose ball, far sideline, possession collected there by the Bruins. 3:05 and counting to go as the ball will scoop up over on the far side there. Eagles will take it away. Nice defense there. They get it onto the foot of Muhammad Ali, who jumps up high to make sure that one comes down on his foot and nobody else's. Ali will center it. Oh, Baiminiana was onside too, but the defender there, that was Labungo for Fargo South, was able to be there just at the right spot at the right time. Nice defense there by Ali, but the Bruins get it right back. Onto the foot of Gurung. Gurung will send it over far side. Back inside to Gurung with a back heel pass there to nobody, and it's picked up by Fargo Davies. 2:22 and counting to go as Jonas Adams will bring it up the field. Jonas Adams looking for an opportunity here. Near side, that is Gavin Griggs. And Gavin Griggs will meet up with Labungo, and Labungo will get it up to Pacific Sibomana. Jonas Adams is going to try and steal this one away, but the Bruins will maintain possession. Now they'll advance the ball up the field quickly here. And along the near side, I can't see who that is off the top of my head. I believe it might be Irakunda, and it is Irakunda. Minute 50 and counting to go. Coming up at halftime, we'll take a look at the statewide scoreboard, see if we have any updates from any of those other soccer games happening, especially the couple that we want to keep an eye on. That includes Cheyenne at home against Red River, and then also Grand Forks Central hosting West Fargo up at Cushman Field in Grand Forks. Those are the two that we're keeping our eyes on here. Those two games along with this game here. The outcomes of those 3 games will play a significant role in the standings for the EDC. Minute 14 to go. That's Ali. Midfield, bring the ball over, advancing it up. Baiminiana was there, but so was the defender. Far side, I believe that's Smaby. Collision there, and a stoppage in the clock. We're going to have a card here, and it's a yellow card. A yellow card is handed out to Bishal Monger, the junior defenseman, with 54 seconds to go in the first half. So that'll set up a free kick from just a little bit over 50 yards away for Jack Anderson. About 51 yards away from the net. I think Fargo South was yelling that they were short a player, and coming in is Jager Ralstad. I didn't even need to peek through the binoculars for that one. I recognized him with his cool hairdo there. So once again, about 51 yards away from the goal, Anderson puts the boot on it. Gets it in there for Griggs. Griggs sees it pop out near sideline. Bruins keep it alive. Ooh, free kick here for Fargo Davies. Really? I'm in agreement with Fargo South's Edmund Iragunda, as I'm not sure. It kind of looked like the other way around on that one. But, like I said earlier, we respect all the decisions made by the officials here on the ND Sports Channel. I did hit the start button on the clock, and for some reason it didn't start. So 14 seconds remaining in the half here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That'll bring us to halftime. Shots on net unofficial in favor of the Bruins, 8-2. And we're at 0-0 here in the first half, or at the end of the first half of the varsity game. In a battle for number 1 in the EDC standings, it's the Fargo Davies Eagles 0 and the Fargo South Bruins 0. Back in a moment here with your halftime show after this on the ND Sports Channel.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on Player Profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Download Game Time today.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
North Dakota Softball All-Stars podcast with Tim Howe keeps you up to date year-round on the sport of softball in the state of North Dakota. Coach and player interviews, who's moving on to play college softball, and that, well, guess what? That simply scratches the surface of this Grand Slam softball podcast. A new episode every week during the softball season and every month during the off-season. Listen anytime on demand on the ND Sports Channel, a Magnitude Sports Media Network station.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a number 1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life. This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life. Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
All right, welcome back here. Halftime, and it's 0-0 between the Bruins and the Eagles. Shots on net unofficially 8-2 in favor of Fargo South. It's been a good first half here. One of these teams, well, I guess they don't have to win, but Fargo South, if they want to be number one, they have to win. A tie or a loss will be significantly hurtful if Sheyenne holds on to their 2-1 lead over Red River. So Fargo South needs to win this one, assuming that Sheyenne will hold on to that 2-1 win or 2-1 lead over Red River. That's a halftime score. Sheyenne leading Grand Forks Red River 2-1. North and Shanley, they are tied at 0 at halftime. And then also at halftime, Grand Forks Central leads 3-1 over the defending state champion West Fargo Packers. That is a must-win game for West Fargo. If they don't win that game, their chances of going back to the state tournament are significantly reduced. They're not officially eliminated if they lose that game, but it is going to be really, really, really tough for West Fargo to get back into that state tournament picture. The top 4 seeds from the WDA and the top 4 seeds from the EDC are your representatives in the state tournament. And right now, West Fargo on the edge at number 5 and looking to possibly fall even more. If Shanley defeats North, Shanley and West Fargo would be tied with 7 points in the standings. I believe they'd be tied at number 5 in the standings there. And then Red River would be at 7 and Fargo North would be at 8. So that's a look at what we have. Once again, your scores that we have so far. Sheyenne 2-1 over Red River at halftime. North and Shanley tied at 0 at halftime. And Grand Forks Central 3-1 over West Fargo at halftime. And we also have a WDA score with you with about 20 minutes left in the first half. Century leads Jamestown 2-0. There's only one other game being played, and that's the Minot game. I forget they're playing Williston, and I do not have a score on that game at this time. If we get one, we'll certainly pass it along to you here. Let's see here. Just got a new that's a volleyball score. Not sure who they're playing, but Grand Forks Central is heading into set 3. And they lost set 2, 25-23. So, once again, if we get any other scores for volleyball or soccer, we'll pass them along to you. And yeah, that's all I have at the moment. So we are about a minute away from the start of the second half here between the Bruins and the Eagles. We'll take 1 minute break. Be right back with that second half right after this on the ND Sports Channel.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Download Game Time today.
All right, welcome back. Halftime buzzer has sounded. 40 minutes have been put up on the clock. It's 0-0 between the Bruins and the Eagles. Shots on net. It was about 75% offense for Fargo South in that first half. Davies did kind of pick it up in the final 10 minutes or so. They had one great opportunity. Fargo South had a couple of opportunities, and I saw a photo of Davies goalie Jensen Waltz on that blast from who we believe was Labongo, excuse me, off the crossbar there, diving to save that one, and they got a fantastic photo. I would suspect you'll find that on social media in the near future here. And if we get our hands on it, we'll share it with you as well. But all I know right now is that it's on a camera. That's all I know at the moment. So once again, we're a few seconds away here from the start of the second half. Once again, halftime scores around the EDC. Sheyenne leads Red River 2-1. Fargo North and Fargo Shanley tied 0-0. Grand Forks Central with a 3-1 lead over West Fargo at halftime. And then approaching halftime at last check, Century led Jamestown 2-0. And then there's one other game that we don't have a score on at this point in time. If we get it, Minot and Williston, we'll pass it along to you. So once again, Fargo South in the white jerseys. We're moving from right to left on your screen. And then Fargo Davies in their home maroon reds with goldish yellow sleeves. We'll be moving from left to right. Fargo South will get the ball to start, and we'll see if they can continue the offensive pressure that they had in the start of the game. And I have a feeling we're going to have to stand for this one, for this half here, because the lights are on, the sun is down. Current temp is right now 59 degrees under a partly cloudy sky. Says there's a chance of rain at 40%, but I really don't see any clouds in the sky nearby that would have the potential of producing rain. It's kind of hard to have rain when you have no clouds in the sky. So we're going to reduce that down to 0% for the duration of this game here, but the official or unofficial forecast does say 40% chance. So once again, Fargo South, they win their number 1. They lose their number 3, assuming that Sheyenne hangs on to that 2-1 lead over Grand Forks Red River. As Waltz will save that one. Another shot on goal here for Fargo South. And Waltz will boot that one away in the direction of Muhammad Ali. But it'll be picked up here by the Fargo South defenders and booted up over to the near side. And on the near side here for Fargo South, getting pushed down, no call on the play there. And now the whistle comes in, and now they will award the free kick. Or it'll be a throw-in for Fargo South, I guess. Vishal Monger is number 2 on the near side, right next to Eric Bimaniana.
Friday, the football team hosts Grand Forks Central. And Monday, the girls golf is at the Sheyenne. But our next game for the Davies soccer.
And once again, we forgot to start the clock. That seems to be a theme at the start of the first and second half. So 37-37 and counting, that is indeed the correct time. And it's right on. One hopper into the hands of Gents. That's 10 shots on net now for the Bruins. 2-0 here in the second half. Crack the 37-minute mark of the second half here as the ball is booted up into the near sideline, out of bounds here. And that'd be Skylar Smaby making the toss in. Smaby will get the toss and be booted up in the air by the Fargo South defenders. And once again, Fargo South looking good here to start the second half. We'll see if they have enough gas in the tank to keep it going the whole game. That might become the question, or it might not. Elvin Johnson with the ball right now here for the Bruins, trying to get around Jack Anderson, now trying to get around Smaby, and Jonas Adams will step in there to force the ball to go out of bounds for an Eagles goal kick. So once again, Waltz taking a little bit of time here. And he'll boot it up far sideline. As touched up there by Fargo South, and out of bounds for Davies throw-in. Approaching 35.5 to go here as Jonas Adams will touch up on it. And then over on the far side, a battle for the ball. Can't quite see who's all over there. Let's try and take a peek through the binoculars. I know Ali's over there. And Griggs is over there too for Fargo Davies. They'll advance the ball up near side here. I believe this is Alvin Johnson with the green shoes on it. Yay, let's double check that here. Number 11 is, no, it's Zachary Muhudin with the green shoes. So Muhudin has the green shoes, and we'll wait a little longer here to find out what color shoes the other players are wearing. Once again, we are in the second half there. Once again, that graphic is now going to be updated, I hope. There we go. 34-50 and counting to go. And still no score here. Fargo South coming out with the offensive power thus far in the second half. This second half starting off a lot like the first half did. Fargo South with the offense, but Fargo Davies with the defense. Now Muhammad Ali has an opportunity here, and he got around one defender, and then the other one poked it away. And Fargo South doing a good job, but it comes onto the foot of Jonas Adams. Adams will try and serve it up there on the near side there. That's Patrick Lawrence. Lawrence battling for the ball along the near sideline. It's taken away there by Fargo South. 34-12 and counting to go as the ball comes back up to Jonas Adams, 40 yards away from the goal. Adams puts a shot in towards the net, and Puar will save it. So Davies gets their first shot on goal a little bit earlier here in the second half than they did get their first shot on net in the first half. 33-49 and counting to go here in the second half of play. Once again, the winner of this one is first place in the EDC. If it ends in a tie, then Fargo Davies will be first even if Sheyenne does win, because Davies has the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Mustangs. 33-27 and counting to go. Ball is advanced up in the direction of Smaby, and it'll go out of bounds for Eagles throw-in. Once again, we thank you for tuning in, watching this one. When we started this broadcast, we were 18 viewers shy of 100,000. So I haven't looked at the numbers yet. I try not to do that until after the game, but I'm hoping that we'll break that 100,000 mark here with this game. Jonas Adams sneaks it up far side there, and did they whistle him offside? I believe they might have. Gavin Griggs was the intended recipient of that pass. 32-37 and counting to go. And the Bruins will boot it up to the near side there. Muhudin. And now Ali will pick it up. He'll advance it up in the direction of Miniana. It pops up into the air. Miniana controls it. Gets around the defender. He looks for a centering pass. I think that's Shushan Rai. Rai put a shot on. It was immediately blocked there right into the chest of a Fargo South defender. Ball pops back out up to midfield. Just under 32 minutes to go, and now the Fargo South Bruins are on the move here. Looking for a centering pass, and they cannot get it by Jonas Adams. Adams will touch up on it, and he will lose the ball. Right back to Fargo South. Fargo South with a great opportunity here. Shot on net, popped to the side there by Waltz, and it'll go out of bounds. The flag goes up, and I believe it'll be a goal kick according to the flag positioning here for Fargo Davies. So Waltz will line it up at the top of the 6 and boot it over to the far sideline. And that was in the direction of Gavin Griggs, but it went out of bounds for a Bruins throw-in. Yannick Vetter over on the far side touching up on it. And now Jack Anderson will pop it down with the side of his arm there. And a nice header there by, I believe that's Griggs. Or no, check that. Yeah, Glover, excuse me. And booted up to about midfield. Went through the Fargo South player. Nice move there by Lawrence to advance the ball up. And getting pushed off the ball there. Can't quite see on the far side. Take a peek through the binoculars here. That was Griggs. He got pushed off by, I believe it was Labongo. Shot is on. That was a nice shot there off the foot of Muhudin, but not low enough to get in. 11-3 now in favor of the Bruins. Shots on net. Waltz will set it up here for a goal kick for the Eagles with about 30 minutes to go. And some of the Fargo South players on the far sideline there are jogging up and down the sideline to stay warm. It's getting a little bit chilly here at Fargo Davies High School. The temp at 8:05 p.m. is 59 degrees here in South Fargo. 29-40 and counting. Far sideline and a little shove with the shoulder there should result in a free kick for Fargo South, I guess. I would have thought that was going to go in favor of Fargo Davies, but guess I was incorrect. That is on the far side of the field. I just have binoculars. The official was over there. So that'll set the ball up for a free kick. Let's see here, about 35 yards away from the net, far side of the field. And they'll put it up right towards the goal. It was a nice kick there and headed in, tried to sneak it in the near post, but Waltz was there. That's another shot for the Bruins here, and 28-53. So Waltz will boot it away once again. Ali trying to get possession of it. Fargo South and both teams battling for it. And now Fargo Davies trying to keep possession of the ball. And Miniana picks it up. Centering pass is there. It comes back onto the foot of Lawrence over to Miniana, and he was onside. Centering pass, and that one was taken out by Fargo South defenders as Smabies tried to pop it in. And it'll go in the air and right into the hands of Krishana Puar. 28:02 and counting to go here as Jonas Adams will touch up on it just shy of midfield. Now the ball's popped up into the air. It's good for either team. And, ooh, that was close, and I did expect a whistle there as Patrick Lawrence, his foot came up dangerously close to the face of that Fargo South player. Once again, a little hard to see those jersey numbers. Take a peek through the binoculars here to see if I can try to identify and then remember it. That's the toughest part. There's another collision there at midfield, and that'll be another free kick for Fargo South, just over midfield actually. 27.5 to go in the second half of play. If you missed this game or you have some family and friends that weren't able to catch the game live, don't tell them the final score. Let them watch it. The game will be available for a 24/7 replay on demand within about 30 to 60 minutes after the conclusion of our post-game show here tonight from Fargo Davies High School. High kick, pop, punched away by Waltz. Ball momentarily cleared by Davies, and now Fargo South will try and work it back in. Jonas Adams, or no, that's by Mignana, excuse me. And he tried to move it up the near sideline, but the ball would scoot out of bounds for a Bruin throw-in. Back it up here to Austin Scott. Scott tried to get around by Mignana, but it'll go off his left shin guard and out of bounds for another Bruin throw-in. 26:35 to go now here. Still no score. Shots on net, 12-3 in favor of the Bruins. Little push and shoving there, no calls. Maybe we'll try to clear it, and it goes right back to the Fargo South. Now they'll try and center it in there, and Waltz is in there to scoop it up and stop any threat for the moment. Quickly out to the far side, I believe that's Shushan Rai. Ball will get poked away from Shushan and back up the field here for Fargo South. They'll try and put together another offensive attack. And Waltz will come out and stop that. Collected on one hop there, and with just under 26 minutes to go, we remain scoreless here in Fargo Davies, thanks to the hands of Jensen Waltz staying in this game. A free kick here for Fargo Davies on the whistle. I believe that one's going to come from approximately 40 yards out, or is it going to be further than that? Okay, it's going to be further than that. It'll be about 55 yards away from the net. Jack Anderson will set up for the kick here. Got by Mignana, Smaby, Lawrence. Over on the far side, Ali and Shushan Rai. Let's see where he puts it. Right in the middle. And a one-hopper, and that goes into the hands of Puar. And that is saved. 12-4 shots on net now. 24:55 and counting. So the ball squirts loose, and Davies will clear it. Chasing that near sideline by Mignana, trying to make a move. It'll go out of bounds, and making the toss in for the Bruins is Bishal Munger. 24:37 and counting as the Bruins will pick it up again. Once again, the winner of this one takes sole possession of number one in the EDC. And right now, the offense has been powered by Fargo South. But don't count Davies out of it yet. All you need is one goal, and we both know, if you're a Davies fan, that is, then we both know that Davies can score goals, multiple goals in a short amount of time. In that 4-1 win over Fargo North about a week and a half ago or so, they scored 2 goals in the first minute and 10 seconds of the game. So they have just shy of 24 minutes left in this one to see what they can do. So corner kick here, or is it a throw-in? It's a throw-in. I looked down for a second, didn't see where the ball went out of bounds at. 23 minutes to go.
In for the Eagles, number 7, Carlos Dixon. Number 8, Max Pritchard, and number 22, Kanye Billups.
So we have I believe a handball was just called. Now set up a free kick here for Fargo South. They'll try and curve that one in there. Far side goes out of bounds. Goal kick, Fargo Davies. So 22-25 and counting to go here in the first half of play. Second half of play, excuse me. And these two teams still looking for the first goal. And what could potentially be the only goal if one is scored. Carlos Dixon was chasing after it over on the far side there before it was popped out of bounds by the Fargo South defender. And now Davies will have a throw in from the far sideline. He'll come in. Ooh, I believe that's Kanye Billups on the far side. Let me take a peek through the binoculars here. We'll take a peek through the binoculars later as Jensen Waltz will scoop that one up. Now we'll take a peek.
These activities are supported in large part by our Booster Club memberships.
Yes, it is Kanye Billups over on that far side. Now want to be popped up high in the air, comes down in the direction of Shushan Ryan. Now Dixon will chase after it, as will, that is, I keep forgetting his name, Gurung. No, Muhudin, excuse me. Once again, some great defense by Fargo South that most times turns into offensive opportunities. And here's an offensive opportunity as Jonas Adams will feed it through for Shushan Rai, but it'll be a little bit too quick there. And scooting out to swipe it up off the ground is Krishana Puar. Puar, a sophomore goalie there for the Fargo South Bruins. Comes out, Smaby touches up on it. Now Shushan Rai is going to battle for the balls. It'll go out of bounds for a Bruins throw-in. Just shy of 21 minutes to go here, a little over 20 and a half. Whistle sounds. Clock continues to roll, and a throw-in here for the Bruins, as well as a substitution as Ralstad will come back in here for Fargo South. He's a freshman defender. We've seen him play some pretty good soccer in the couple of games we've seen for the Bruins so far this season. Let's see how he fares here in the remaining 20 minutes of this contest here. Kanye Billups with an opportunity, and no, he will not get there. Puar will come out and scoop it up off the ground. Couple more shots on net there for Fargo Davies. Adams patiently drops it back to Jack Anderson. Anderson looks far side, feeds it over there. I believe that might be Griggs. Griggs or Glover or Vetter. No, it's Vetter on the far side there. And now Billups has it. Billups got, I don't know if he got tripped up over the foot of the Fargo South player or over the ball. Either way, it went out of bounds. Last touch by Fargo South, and now Fargo Davies will try for another opportunity here, but that opportunity comes to an end with a whistle and a free kick for Fargo South. 19 and a half to go here, second half. Once again, if this game ends in 0-0, then it will end in a 0-0 tie. There will be no extra time. There will be no shootouts or anything like that. Regular season games can end in ties, and Billups will watch that ball float out of bounds for a Fargo South throw-in. Throw-in will come in, far side, immediately popped out of bounds for a Fargo Davies throw-in. And now the Fargo Davies throw-in comes into Carlos Dixon. He backs off there, lets Jonas Adams take the ball. Goes off the foot of Shushan Ryan. That'll allow the Fargo South defenders to boot it over to the near sideline here. But Rye's not going to let that one go too easily, and maybe a little bit too much forward momentum there for Shushan Rai, but a nice show of sportsmanship too. 18:38 and counting to go here in the second half of play. They'll feed it up near side here. I do believe that is Monger. And it was Monger, and Smaby a little frustrated with Monger's, what Smaby believed to be a Monger flop. Set up a corner kick here for the Bruins. Corner kick comes in. It'll go to the far side of the net where they headed back. Hits the crossbar on the header. And now they're trying to center it back in, and another header that comes back out. Will they get another centering pass? No, it'll be poked out of bounds there by Caleb Glover. So back-to-back attempts at the net there, and now another corner kick as a result. Once again, far side. That one comes to the near side post, and I'm not sure who touched it there. But it'll go out of bounds, and I believe it'll be another corner kick from the far side this time for Fargo South. So they almost scored on the first attempt from the near side, and now setting up on the far side here for Fargo South will be Nobin Gurung, the senior midfielder, to take the kick from the far corner with 17-11 and counting to go here in the second half of play. Corner kick will come into the top of the 18. Dixon is there to defend it, but the Fargo South Bruins maintain possession. They get it back out. Gurung will center it, and that'll come a little bit too far here. They'll have to chase it out of bounds for a goal kick. I believe that'll be a goal kick for Fargo Davies. Spirit chant between the Bruins and Eagles fans here. Student section is down to the far right and far left of our broadcast station here. .16:25 and counting to go here. It's been a good one. There's been some exciting opportunities, but nothing has gone in. And if you're the goalies for these two teams, I'm sure that raises the hair on the back of your neck on all those opportunities that have occurred for both goalies, knowing that at any moment, any one of those opportunities could have gone in and one of these teams could lead 1-0. Still could happen here. 16 minutes to go. That one will be scooped up by Jens. Jens will fire it out to Shushan Rai. Rai will not catch up to it as Fargo South will get there first. They'll back it up and then onto the foot of Austin Scott. Scott will back it up there to Puar. Puar will collect it, and Puar will boot it down the middle of the field where Jonas Adams will chest it down. He'll break through the defense here and try and get around the defender, and then it's poked out of bounds. It'll be a Davies throw-in. 15.5 to go. The Eagles fans down there, right where that throw-in will occur, are really into this matchup at the moment. It's maybe on the throw-in here for Fargo Davies with 15-17 and counting to go. A tie or a win for Fargo Davies keeps them at number 1. A win for Fargo South keeps them at number 1. Or moves them to number 1, I should say. A loss drops them to 3rd. A tie would drop them to 3rd if Sheyenne defeats Grand Forks Red River. 14:47 and counting to go here. Rai gets it to Smaby at the throw-in, back to Shushan Rai. Rai works it down low, and they're going to call offsides on Patrick Lawrence. So the Bruins will boot that one up to about half field there. Griggs will touch up on it. Jonas Adams trying to take it away there, but the Bruins maintain possession of the ball. Over on the far side there, trying to get around two Eagles defenders. They'll back it up. Eagles defenders will try and get it out of there. They get onto the foot of Shushan Rai. Rai tried to center it, and now it ricocheted off a couple of feet of a couple of different players. Back heel kick there onto the foot of, that is Shashit Tumang, who's into the lineup here for Fargo South now. Alvin Johnson along the near sideline, out of bounds for a, I believe, a Fargo South throw-in. I think it went off the foot of Smaby most recently. .13-15 counting to go.
Riley Martin.
Muhammad Ali will control it, bring it up over midfield. Can he create an opportunity here for Fargo Davies? Scoreless with 13 minutes to go. Trying to get around the defenders, and he keeps it there. Top of the 18. They work it near side. The pass was intended for Shushan Rai. Comes back up to midfield, where Fargo Davies will try and keep control of the possession here. And they will do so. Smaby will boot it up. And here's an opportunity, one-on-one. They're going to call Lawrence offside. So that'll set up a free kick here for Lobungo with 12:20 to go here in the second half. For scoreless, shots on net 14-6 in favor of Fargo South. Going to be booted over far side there. I believe that was possibly Baiminiano who touched up on it. And now Ralstad will boot it back for the Bruins.
Fargo Sheyenne 2, Red River 1 with about 13 minutes left.
So you may have heard the update in the background there. Sheyenne leads Red River 2-1 with about 15 minutes left in that matchup. If Sheyenne wins, that holds on to that 2-1 win here. They are hoping for a Fargo South win to push Fargo Davies down, and then Sheyenne would be in the number 3 spot. So they're hoping for a Fargo Davies win, actually. 11.5 to go here. Throwing comes into the far side. Fargo South defender on the far side of the field there will boot it back up and it'll go out of bounds for another Fargo Davies throw-in. 11:15 to go. Throwing comes in and goes right back out of bounds. Another opportunity. Comes in far side, Patrick Lawrence, and then it'll be booted away. Jonas Adams sneaks up on it, fires it upfield. Once again, just under 11 minutes to go here. So it'll be collected by Shushan Rai. Adams will pop it up. That's Muhammad Ali. Ali trying to get around the defender, and he does. Muhammad Ali sends it up, and it's an opportunity for a goal. Shushan Rai, the shot on net. Actually, that's Patrick Lawrence, and Krishana Puwar would stop it. Puwar with another save, back-to-back saves for Puwar, and a golden opportunity here for Fargo Davies. They work it onto the foot of Shushan Rai. We have Caleb Glover, who was slow to get up there. But he's walking around. He's okay at the moment.
Come on, Bruin!
Throwing here from Smaby. Goes onto the foot of Patrick Lawrence, and Puwar will keep that one in bounds and pick it up. 9:45 to go here. We're scoreless. Winners number 1 in the EDC. Puwar will boot that one away up to just shy of midfield, and it'll be touched up on there by Fargo South on a whistle and a Fargo South free kick. Ball comes loose to the near sideline. Lobungo trying to get through a couple of defenders and doing a nice job of doing just that. Now the ball gets poked away. It's picked up by Lawrence. Lawrence tried to feed it up sideline here to Shushan Rai, but it'll go out of bounds for a Fargo South throw-in with just under 9 minutes to go here in the first half of play. A tie will give both of these teams 1 point in the EDC standings. A win will give the winning team 3 points.
Go Bruins! Into the Bruins, number 12, Mirish Munger.
Monger checks in for Fargo South. That ball gets loose there as Jack Anderson will have to chase down. Oh wait, no, check that. That was Ryder Schmidt, excuse me. Work it over far side by Miniana. Krishana Puwar will boot that one away, far sideline. Touched up there by Jonas Adams. Booted back by the Fargo South defender over midfield. Fargo South will get the possession of the ball, work it up the near sideline here. Now working it back inside and putting a shot on goal, and that's going to go wide left. Shots on net, 15-7 in favor of the Bruins. So Waltz will set this one up at the top of the 6, get set to boot it away here. 7:25 to go in the second half of play. We're scoreless between the Bruins and the Eagles. He'll boot that up to the far sideline and be touched up there by Fargo South. Now Jonas Adams will pick it up midfield. Advance it up. It gets ricocheted, and Muhammad Ali was almost there, and then it ricocheted off 2 players out of bounds to the far side for a Eagles throw-in. And that throw-in will come in, and that'll be booted away there by the Fargo South defender. Here's an opportunity. Shushan Rai shot on net, and that's swallowed up there by Krishana Puar, the sophomore goalie for Fargo South. He'll roll it out near side here. 0-0, 6.5 to go here in the second half. Shushan Rai, clean tackle, but it goes out of bounds. Be a Fargo South throw-in. 6:27 to go, throw-in comes inside. Shushan Rai was there, but the Bruins will advance it up the field. Baiminiana will poke it away. Can Ali get there? He does, but Ralstad will boot it back up here for the Bruins. Now Smaby will pick it up, boot it upfield. That's a one-on-one race there, but it's going to be a little bit too much for Patrick Lawrence as Puar will boot it back up to the near sideline here, and Fargo South will control it. Put it onto the foot there, Bashar Monger. Monger will advance it up there too. That's Naresh Mongar. And that ball comes into the stands. .5:41 and counting. Advance it up near side. He was onside. Shushan Rai has it poked away there by, I believe that was Bishal Monger. So the throw in here from Rai into the foot of Smaby. Smaby will center it. Griggs is there, so is Baiminiana. This could be an opportunity. Baiminiana misfired. That was crucial. That could have been a goal for Baiminiana if he would have got his foot on it the way he wanted it to. Last time Baiminiana had a chance, he popped it up over the crossbar on a wide open goal. So Baiminiana needs to just take a deep breath, settle down, and get these shots. I know it's easier said than done when you're up here in the press box versus out there on the field trying to give your team the winning goal, but that one will go out of bounds there. So come back inside here. That is Smaby trying to center it. Pops it up and over the crossbar out of bounds. 4:25 to go here in the second half. Puar will boot it up. They'll bounce a couple times. Fargo South will pick it up. .350 to go here. Fargo South looking for an opportunity. That'll be popped away there, upfield, and a long ball. Lawrence racing after it there, and the Fargo South defender will pop it out over to the far sideline. Once again, I want to thank you for watching. I apologize, I misidentified that player on the near sideline there about a minute or so ago. I appreciate that message there. It is a little bit hard to see those jersey numbers, so 3 minutes to go, just a little over 3 minutes. Moving inside, there's Bishalmonger, and that one will be popped up and cleared away by Fargo Davies. Davies with the possession here to get it onto the foot of Ali. Ali gets around the defender and gets around another defender. Moves it up. Shushan Rai has an opportunity here. Shushan Rai tries to center it, but Ralstad's there to clear it away for the Bruins. He headed down, and now the Bruins will take the possession, try and advance it back upfield. I believe that was Jack Anderson on the header, and it was, as he turns and I see his jersey number. Comes back to the other side here, far side. Baiminiana's over on the far side against one of the Bruin players. And now Jonas Adams will collect the ball right around midfield. Trying to advance it up for Baiminiana. It breaks through. Here's an impossible opportunity, and no! Puar is able to save it once again. The Eagles getting some golden opportunities here in the final minutes of this one, but they haven't been able to cash in on it yet. Here's an opportunity possibly for Fargo South. Shot on, it's gonna go wide right. Missed by a handful of yards to the right side of the net, and goal kick for Waltz. Waltz will boot it up the far sideline. I believe that's by Miniana over there. And a flag will go up, and we'll have a whistle, and I believe a free kick for Fargo South, if I'm not mistaken, and it is. Minute 18 and counting. Last opportunity here for both of these teams. I would suspect that each team's going to get one more opportunity. Something just tells me that's how it's going to work out. On near side here. Can they put a shot on net? They can, and no, it got deflected straight up. Came back out. Went the wrong way there for the Bruins. Jonas Adams will clear it out. Nobody there for the Eagles. However, there are two Bruins in the area. I believe that was booted up there by Lobungo. Jonas Adams able to poke that one away. Maybe got away with a little bit of pushing there. Baiminiano will touch up on it, and now the Bruins will send it back in. Waltz comes out, and that one came dangerously close to bouncing potentially over his head there. I would suspect, based on the fact that he was able to save that one, that he does pretty good in grades when it comes to math.
9, 8,
7 seconds to go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's your final score. It ends in a 0-0 tie here between the Fargo Davies Eagles and the Fargo South Bruins. Shots on net, unofficial, 15-7, excuse me, in favor of the Fargo South Bruins. We will look at all the standings. We'll try and get some final scores from some of the other games. We'll try and update things and let you know who sits where when we come back after this timeout here on the ND Sports Channel with your post-game show right after this.
Diamond Academy and Magnitude Sports Media Network are providing a huge opportunity for high school athletes. Player profile videos shine the spotlight on a skill set required for a position in a particular sport. Whether you play softball, track and field, or any other sport, if you're a sophomore or junior, it's time to schedule your video. Most tapings take less than an hour and can save you thousands when a recruiter puts your name in the starting lineup for a college scholarship. For more information, click on player profiles at msportsnet.com or call us at 701-373-1843.
Download Game Time today.
Magnitude Sports Media Network is your home for all types of sports programming in a 3-state region. Over 500 previous games are available right now on demand. Since 2017, we've brought you an average of 275 games a year, including junior varsity and varsity matchups across 8 different sports. Now we're on pace for the same amount of games this year. It's a whole lot of sports, and it's all right here, where North Dakota, Minnesota, and South Dakota teams play. This is the Magnitude Sports Media Network.
Good sportsmanship. It will carry you further in life than sports. Growing up in North Dakota, I learned to respect my opponents, the coaches, and the officials. The values of fairness and teamwork carried me to the highest level in my sport and allowed me to live my dream of playing football in the NFL. It doesn't matter if you're on the stage, the playing field, or in the stands. We are all better when we show respect for others and practice good sportsmanship. Carry yourself with dignity. Being gracious makes the losses easier and the victories that much sweeter. So when the lights on the playing field, the stage, or the gym floor dim, you'll always have pride in yourself.
North Dakota Softball All-Stars podcast with Tim Howe keeps you up to date year-round on the sport of softball in the state of North Dakota. Coach and player interviews, who's moving on to play college softball, and that, well, guess what? That simply scratches the surface of this Grand Slam softball podcast. A new episode every week during the softball season and every month during the off-season. Listen anytime on demand on the ND Sports Channel, a Magnitude Sports Media Network station.
This isn't Madison Square Garden. These drills probably won't make anyone a #1 draft pick. But these players are practicing for something important. While they work on their jump shots, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, how to deal with wins and losses. Skills that will make them winners long after they leave the court. Support high school activities in your community, because when kids take part, they get set for life. This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life. National studies show that students who participate in activities like music, sports, and drama not only have better grades and attendance, but they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over. Take part. Get set for life. Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
All right, welcome back. Your final score once again between the Bruins and the Eagles, 0-0 tie here at Fargo Davies High School on the battle for number 1. Fargo Davies will remain number 1. With the 0-0 tie, they'll get 18 points on the standings. And if Sheyenne at last check had a 2-1 lead over Red River with about 7 minutes left, if Sheyenne holds on to win that one, they will move up to second place with 17 points. They'll be 1 point behind Fargo Davies in the EDC standings. And then, let's see here. Last check, Grand Forks Central led 3-1 at halftime over West Fargo. If they hang on to win that game, they'll move up to 15 points. And they'll be 1 point behind Fargo South in the standings as Fargo South, with the tie, creeps up to the 16-point mark here in the EDC standings. So once again, we're still waiting on a couple of finals. One final we are aware of is Fargo Shanley defeats Fargo North by the score of 3-0. And Century led Jamestown 3-0 at last check, but we don't have a final on that one. And then no report on Minot and Williston at this point in time. So once again, no update on the Grand Forks Central West Fargo game. At last check, it was 3-1 at halftime. Fargo Shanley defeats Fargo North 3-0. Century 3-0 over Jamestown early in the second half at last report. Sheyenne late in the second half with approximately 7 minutes remaining, 2-1 over Red River. And then the final here is 0-0 between Fargo Davies and Fargo South. Well, let's take a look at these two teams. Fargo South now 6-2-1 overall, 3-1-1 when they're on the road is what that should say. Let's see here. Okay, so we'll fix that right now, maybe. No, I don't think we will. Okay, it's not going to be a win tonight, but they do pick up the win. Or the tie, I should say. So they moved to 6-2-1 on the season, 3-1-1 on the road or neutral field, and 5-2-1 against EDC opponents. With the 0-0 tie, they'll have Fargo North on, let's see, today is Tuesday, so they'll have Fargo North on Thursday at home, and then on the 17th, they'll take on Sheyenne. And then they'll be up in Grand Forks on the 19th to take on Red River, and then home games against Shanley and Grand Forks Central. And then they'll wrap up the regular season on October 1st against the West Fargo Packers. For the Fargo Davies Eagles, they improve or not improve, I don't know how you want to call it, 6-1-3 on the year, 3-0-1 at home. It's the first time they did not win a game here at home. And now they're 5-0-3 against EDC opponents. Coming up, they will have Shanley on Thursday. And that'll be at Shanley. You can watch that game on Shanley TV. And then they'll be home against Grand Forks Red River. Then they'll be at West Fargo Sheyenne taking on the Mustangs. That could be a key matchup coming up here for the Eagles. And then Fargo North on the 24th. And then that rematch against West Fargo on the 26th. And then just off your screen there, let's see if we can put it on screen. October 1st at Grand Forks Central. There it is. That's on your screen there. A 7 p.m. kick for that game there. Player of the game. These our reveal graphic is not working for some reason, but we're going with dual player of the games. Jensen Waltz and Krishana Puwar, the junior goalie for Fargo Davies and the sophomore goalie for Fargo South, are dual players of the game. They both made spectacular saves when needed in this game, and if it wasn't for those two goalies, it would not be a 0-0 tie. So we're going to go with dual player of the games here for the Eagles and the Bruins, with Jensen Waltz, junior goalkeeper for Fargo Davies, and Krishana Puwar, the Fargo South sophomore goalkeeper, your players of the games. On-demand streams. This game will be available within about 30 or so minutes after the conclusion of our post-game broadcast here. And you can check all the final scores, and eventually the watch button will pop up for this game. You can click on watch at our website to watch this game again. And then if you on our website at msportsnet.com, if you click on live stream schedule, you can see all the games that are upcoming here. We'll have the Fargo South, Fargo North swim meet on Thursday in 2 days from now. And then Friday, September 13th, we're running a poll on Twitter. Which game would you like to see on the Andy Sports Channel? You can vote for one of three options. One of them is Shiloh Christian versus Southern McLean. The other one is Fargo Davies versus Grand Forks Central. And the other one is Kindred versus Hazen. Davies fans, right now, Kindred Hazen game is leading that poll on our Twitter with 100 and some votes casted. So feel free to go over there and cast your vote for the game of your choice at ND Sports CH1. So you can find us on Twitter. And then our Saturday game is now pending. And then Tuesday the 17th, we'll have Fargo South and Sheyenne in soccer. And then we'll have Sheyenne hosting Fargo Davies. That game is actually still pending, as we have not gotten approval yet to go to that game. So we think it won't be an issue, but we'll find out shortly here. And then we'll get back to some football and our first volleyball broadcast on September 24th between the Bruins and the Shanley Deacons down at the Bruins Den on Fargo South High School. And then back to soccer on the 26th for the Davies Eagles and the West Fargo Packers. And then they'll come close to wrapping up the month of September, as we believe we'll have that Moorhead game versus Sheyenne on the 28th to wrap up the month of September as well. Full schedule, and whenever that schedule changes, the first thing you want to check is our website for any changes. You can find us online at msportsnet.com. That is our website. All of our stations have their independent Twitter handles. We'd love it if you follow us on ND Sports CH1. The link for our YouTube channel will change, but for now, until July 2020, it will remain youtube.com/ND Sports Channel. And then, of course, you can like and follow us on Facebook as well at facebook.com/msportsmnet.com. Your final score, once again, Fargo Davies 3 and the Fargo South Bruins, what am I thinking here? Fargo South 0, Fargo Davies 0. That is your final score. The preceding was a production of the ND Sports Channel on the Magnitude Sports Media Network. We'll talk to you Thursday from Fargo South High School, the Spartans and Bruins on a swim meet here on the ND Sports Channel. Talk to you then.